Hi, how's everybody doing? Boys and Girls Club members out there, students and parents. So this is our next game. Hopefully everybody's doing just fine. Everybody's safe and healthy out there. So our next game that I'm going to implement is going to be called Some Bowling. It's basically implementing bowling and adding together. I don't know if you guys bowled before, but I'm still going to explain how you play bowling. So this is what's going to call the game Some Bowling right here. And then the materials that you need is just a ball, 10 vertical objects, paper and a pencil. The paper and pencil is just to keep track of the score and also to show your work because we're not going to use any type of calculator. It's going to be regular adding through paperwork, right? So that's the whole point. Okay, so basically a little rundown of how you bowl or how you play bowling. Is basically you're a distance away from the vertical objects, which we usually call them pins, but in this case we're going to use our own type of pins. And then you're going to be kind of like 10 feet or 12 feet apart away from the pins. And then you have a ball. You're going to be rolling it towards the pins and you're trying to knock them over. Depending on how far you want to be, it's going to be harder, right? The further you are, the harder it is to kind of align your ball to roll to that direction to hit the objects, right? Okay, so basically the 10 vertical objects, I recommend using objects that stand vertically, right? They're standing tall. And also that they're not gonna break. In this case, I use water bottles. You can also use other stuff like plastic cups. Just note that if you're using plastic cups, you're gonna be marking them. And if you're gonna be marking stuff that you're not supposed to be marking, I recommend putting like a tape over it or a paper, just stick it there. And because you're gonna be numbering each of the objects 1 through 10. Okay. So basically, I use water bottles. They're filled with water. I number each one. So this one's number 1, and I put them on the cap. And you have 10 water bottles in total. Okay. So basically, let me show you how I aligned them. Okay. So this is how you set up your set of water bottles. Okay. This is how I set them up. I hope you can see. So you basically like a pyramid, right? You start off with 1 and try putting the one that's number 1 in the front because you don't want to have the highest number in the front. And depending how you set it up, that's how you try to keep it to make it fair for the other people. So you start with 1 and I put 3 and 2 behind it, 4, 5, and 6 behind those, right? And 3s in this formation. And then the other sets over here in this formation. So you have 4. And for me, I'm using for the ball, I'm using a basketball, so which is bigger than the water bottles. So in this case, I'm gonna spread them out a little bit far away from each other, so it won't be easy to knock all of them over. Because the whole point, right, is to make it kind of hard, right, to knock over all the pins at once, right? If someone can knock all the pins at once, then that's amazing, right? That's a strike. So in this case, I'm using a basketball. Yeah, so it's a little bit bigger, so that's why I spread them out. So yeah, so basically what you do is you have to roll it, right? You have to roll it along or how far you want it. Depending on which ones you knock over, right? Those are the ones you knocked over. And for the person's turn, you have 2 tries, okay? So the first try, once you knock over, let's say you knocked those 2. So on the second try, you have to remove the knocked over water bottles, okay? You can't leave them there. You have to remove them. And then you have just those sets. And now it's in that shape. Now you have to knock over those. So then your second try, you have to knock over those. Okay? So basically that's how you play the game. But when you do the first try, you have to keep track of the water bottles that you knocked over. So don't go right away to the second try and knock over those and put them right back and you're gonna forget on the water bottles that you have, like knocked over. So let's say my first try, I knocked over water bottle 1 and 3. So water bottle 1 and 3 on my first try. Okay, so keep track of it. Then on my second try, I knocked over a water bottle marked 6, 7, and 10. Okay, so that was your turn. So at the end of your turn, you have to add these numbers up, okay? So let's add them up. So 3 plus 1 is 4, okay? Let me see because of the glare. Then let's add 6. That is 10, right? Then add 7. So 10 plus 7, so that's 17. Then add 10. 7 plus 0 is 7. 1 plus 1 is 2. So in that turn, I got 27 points. 27 points on my turn. And depending how many turns you want to go on the game, right? So a lot of people like to do 10 turns for a game. And each turn you have 2 tries, okay? So let's say you already finished your turn, so you let the other person go, right? Whoever you're playing against, they have to go and do the 2 tries. And right, you have to set up the pins how they were since the beginning, and then they have to knock it over, and then you have to do the second try, and then knock over the rest. And then they have to keep track of their points. So depending on like how many turns you go on that game, you have to add like all the points at the end. Okay, so let's say this game involves of 3 turns. So on my 3 turns, my first turn I got 27 points. My second turn let's say I got 22. My third turn I got, let's say, 10. It was pretty rough, let's say. So then you add them up, right? So 7 plus 2, right? 7, 8, 9, right? Plus 0, right? So it'll be 9. And then 2 plus 2 is 4. And then plus 1, right, is 5. So let's say I got a total of 59 points on that game. But let's say my friend or the player you're going against, like let's say my friend I'm going against is named Pablo. Pablo got 60 points. Man, it was pretty close. So the person who got the most points wins. So Pablo won. Let's say Pablo at the end got 60 points and I got 59 at the end. So Pablo won that game. And yeah, so basically that's how you play. It's really simple. You just add. So just note that don't use a calculator. Use your head. And yeah. And also keep track of how you order the pins, because if you mess up the order, it's gonna be unfair. And also try to get the ones who have the most, right? Let's say try to get number 10 and number 9 and number 6, number 5, like the higher marked water bottles, far away from the other ones. Kind of like, let's say you have so in this case, let's say you have water bottle marked 10 over here, right here. This is water bottle marked 10. Don't put water bottle marked number 9 right here. So don't try to put number 9 right here, because it'll be kind of unfair if you have all the water bottles that have higher numbers on one side, because the person will know just to try to hit these numbers, okay? And yeah, so basically that's how you play, and thank you. And that sums up the whole math game.